Good morning, and thank you very much for joining me this morning. My name's Joe Garner, although actually it isn't. My real name's Johnson Garner, and I used to spell it J-O. I used to abbreviate it to J-O. And then I went to university, and I wasn't a particularly good student. In fact, I got a very low mark in my first year. And it was then that I added an E on the end, because my end-of-year report said, it's hard to assess Joe's work because she has not attended many lectures. So I added an E. I did get a degree, and I spent most of the first decade of my career working for Procter & Gamble. But then in the late 1990s, it was the dot-com boom, and I, like many others, left corporate life to try my hand at a startup. And the startup was called UK 50+, and it was aimed at bringing the benefits of the internet to the over 50s. This was a time when many people were going online for the first time. FHM, the magazine, had recently published an article entitled How to Log On to the Internet. So this was really the pioneering days, and our business model was to retail the computer equipment to older people who were, needed to get online to email their grandkids, and then give them in-home tuition and connect them to our portal, a very intuitive portal called Clickton, built around the idea of a village. So if you wanted to do your email, you went to the post office. You wanted to book a holiday, you went to the travel agent. And I have to remember, this was a crazy time. I mean, this was the original dot-com boom. You had businesses setting up, selling pound coins for 90p with free delivery, and then somehow getting listed on the stock market for billions of pounds. And perhaps the amazing thing is we did actually get funded. It took us about 26 weeks of negotiation, but we did get the backing of a local media group, and we did get off the ground. Although it's fair to say we did come back to it again fairly quickly, and we didn't make it through more than about a year. However, it was an incredible experience, and there are at least three significant things I took from it. First of all, at the personal level, I feel like I know a bit about how green the grass is on the other side, what it feels like to be the little guy walking into someone else's gleaming office with a new and empty briefcase and holding nothing but a dream. I did have a new and empty briefcase. In fact, after a few meetings, my business partner pointed out that it's pretty obvious it's empty because it would look like that, so we stuffed some old books and things in it to make it look a little bit more credible. But I think I know a bit about what it feels like when you're doing your own thing and how high the highs are and how low the lows are. And I would credit all of you who are in that position because it takes real courage to do it. The second thing is I think I got to experience a little bit firsthand about the transformational impact of technology, and also see how often those who really clock the significance are those who are in the position of starting up their own businesses, and often they are way ahead of the general population in understanding the applications of the technology that's emerging. And thirdly, I learnt the hard way about the value of partnership. Our idea seemed to have some potential, and we considered at the time partnering with a large retail group that was operating in a related space. We made the decision not to do that because we judged the risk that they would take our idea and do it without us to be greater than the opportunities of partnership. If I had my time again, I would make that decision differently, because actually often it is the spark of the innovator plus the scale of an established player that together can do something truly transformational. Today, I'm lucky enough to lead Nationwide Building Society. What is Nationwide Building Society? We are not a bank, we are not a corporate, we are not a company. We are a society. We are a society of 15 million members who are also our customers, founded around a core social purpose that our founders in 1884 expressed as to improve the living conditions of what they termed the industrious classes. Roll forward to today, we are the UK's second largest provider of mortgages and savings, and rapidly growing in current accounts, with a balance sheet of over £230 billion and generating profits of around £1 billion a year over recent years. However, we don't have shareholders in a traditional sense, and any profit is generated for the benefit of our members, our customers. And we remain guided by that social purpose not a commercial purpose, but a social purpose around which we were founded all those years ago. And it is that brings me here today. Because as you all know, the moment of discontinuity, of disruption in financial services is happening right now. And one of the big enablers of that is open banking. Open banking and open APIs create a transformational moment for financial services. And right now, very many fintechs and established firms are focused on how they take the emergence of open banking and use it for commercial gain. However, there is another opportunity that comes with open banking. Right now, we estimate that there are around 12 million people in this country who are just about keeping their nose above the water in terms of financial difficulty. People who have little or no savings, and people for whom one or two financial decisions in the course of a month can make the difference between keeping above water or spiraling into financial difficulty. And for years, the barriers for tackling financial difficulty and financial capability have relied on the fantastic work of debt charities and other organizations that have invested huge amounts in helping people improve their own financial capability, how to read a bank statement properly, how to understand what an APR means, how to understand the impact of interest, both in terms of savings and in terms of borrowings. With open bankings and mobile technology, there's a moment where this could actually change in a transformational way. Take people who are in financial difficulty. Today, if they go to a debt charity, the first thing they'll do is an income and expenditure report. They'll sit down and they'll say, okay, so what do you get each month? You get that in your salary, you get that in terms of benefit, and what are your outgoings? And it's an approximate exercise. With open banking, in a millisecond, you can generate a complete history of that person's income and expenditure over previous years. Not just that, what could you do if you took that financial fingerprint and then mashed it up with other open APIs, geodata, etc.? Present that financial information in ways that you don't need to know what an APR is in order to understand it, and even use the existing phones ecosystem to actually intervene in the lives of people and help them make better financial decisions day to day. I think there is an opportunity to create something that will transform people's lives in terms of financial capability. But for that to happen, we need a few key ingredients. First, we need the innovators, the startups, the fintechs, who are close enough to the technology to see the future and invent the applications. We need the help of the experts in the areas of financial capability, the debt charities and other experts who've got a point of view. We need people who can take those ideas and get them to scale, get them in the hands of tens of thousands, of hundreds of thousands, and ultimately millions of people rapidly. And we need all that to happen. So what we've decided to do, with the help of the Inclusive Economy Partnership, which is a Cabinet Office-sponsored initiative bringing together civil society, government, and business, is that we as Nationwide are leading an initiative called Open Banking for Good. And we're going to be launching a collaborative challenge out to the fintech community to say, work with us and let's crack the problem of financial capability. Because with the ideas and innovation that can come out of the fintech community, plus access to our brand and scale and 15 million members, with the help of the relevant experts in the field, we could create something that could be truly transformational. So we're launching the challenge. The full details will be coming out, but you can pre-register interest at this web address as it develops. We've got a panel to help with the challenge of really authoritative figures from across the Money Advice Trust, Everyone, Nesta, and ourselves and Accenture, who are helping us run the challenge. And our aim is nothing less than to come up with solutions to financial capability. Next year, I'll be in that over 50s group that I set up a business to help what feels like a lifetime ago. And I'm no longer well placed to know the technology well enough to come up with the solutions. But I and Nationwide are well placed to help those of you who can. Thank you very much, and I'll hand back to Jane.